June 24th, 2024, just shy of 3 months from the Long Dark's 10-year anniversary. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here, and welcome to the all-new Last Misery series in Hinterland Studios' The Long Dark. Hinterland has just dropped Tales from the Far Territory Part 5, just now, and the various key changes from this update will be saved for a coming separate premiere in the Against All Odds series. Today, we talk about one word and one word only: Misery, which is a new gameplay mode in this update, and it is the hardest non-custom gameplay mode Hinterland has ever implemented. It's like fresh red meat for the devoted survival elite. When you think about it, the Long Dark has established itself as one of the most punishingly challenging, yet surprisingly replayable and consistently well-produced titles in the survival sandbox space. For a few years, the highest difficulty we had was Stalker back in the beginning. Then the months went by, runs got longer and longer, and we started to clamor for more. Enter Interloper. And that was a mode commonly known as one where we would feel so challenged that it would be as though the game is trying to kill us. Well, fast forward a few more years, and the most elite survivors have once again begun to bump their heads against the upper limits of the game's difficulty. Well, someone at Hinterland clearly noticed, because now the gloves are off, and the game is literally throwing random unique afflictions at you until you die. Yeah. So for this series, and for today's premiere, hi everybody, been a while, we're going to forgo detailed explanations and dive pretty much straight into gameplay. Don't worry, I am going to talk more about what sets the mode apart from Interloper once we're underway, but I do have not one, not two, but three important groups of people to acknowledge as I dive into today's episode. First, thank you so much to Hinterland Studios, particularly Raphael and Katie, who invited me to take part in a private test of Misery and other Part 5 features over the last month. And I wasn't alone, there were others, which brings me to group number 2. Seriously, Raphael, Katie, thank you so much, your trust means the world. Athenon, Thomasina, Zachnafane, thank you for all your unwavering support, camaraderie, and many, many late-night DMs. Not just during this testing period, but before. It's privilege enough to have been a part of all this, but to have been invited alongside the three of you. Those who don't know you might raise their eyebrow at the heights of this praise, but I couldn't have been given a greater honor. You three are awesome. I admire you all so much. And if you're watching this and you don't know who these fantastic humans are, well, their channels are in the description below. You know what to do. So get on it, because they're worth it. Finally, my deepest gratitude of all goes out to our nobles and champions. So whether you are one of our many generous champions you see here on the screen, whether you're a noble, or you're a steady long-term subscriber, hi, we're here. Welcome back. If you're just now realizing the channel's back, join the Discord, gather round. I am thankful to every last one of you for making our incredible growing community the vibrant, generous, amazing place that it is today. Thank you so much for being here every single episode. I appreciate you immensely. That's not in the script. I'm ad-libbing, and I can't say it enough. Thank you. Let's jump in, shall we? So, starting straight from the menu, what sets Misery mode apart, at least in writing? So, supposedly for expert players, definitely not supposedly, it actually is, looking for a unique and devastating survival challenge beyond Interloper. You start with the most minimal resources in an already harsh and hostile world on the brink. At timed intervals, you gradually succumb to permanent, unavoidable afflictions unique to Misery, and no active feats are allowed. I want to point out something very interesting about this particular mode before we jump into gameplay. You go to Custom. Typically, when you look through the difficulties in Custom, you can actually see what the specific settings are for every single setting and every single difficulty mode. Not for Misery. So as of now, as of release, this may change, but as of now, there is not actually a way to see exactly whether everything is truly as punishing as those particular descriptors would indicate. However, I have it from Katie that, and it says here as well, that everything has been pretty much dialed up to the maximum possible punishing level. I don't know if anything was sort of left off in order to, you know, provide some kind of sanity, but that seems to go against the spirit of the mode given what they're saying this is supposed to be about. So, without further ado, let's jump in as Jennifer, and we're going to call this Last Misery 1. Question is, where will we spawn? And at what time of day? Life is an error-making and an error-correcting process, and nature, in marking man's papers, will grade him for wisdom as measured both by survival and by the quality of life of those who survive. Oh. PV. Wonderful. Midday. Also wonderful. Alright then. Let's head this direction-ish and see what we can do. That is a demon. It's a doe. That's what it is. It's a female deer. Sometimes referred to as demons because they sneak up behind you and make very startling noises when you least expect it. And so in your rage and fright, you call them demons. That is my explanation. I'm sticking to it. There's another one straight ahead of us. So I guess what we'll do is go straight towards the farmstead. We're pretty lucky with the time of day here, and we're pretty lucky with the weather. I mean, pretty fortunate with the location as well. I have to say, I don't know if this is guaranteed, but so far, Pleasant Valley starts seem pretty common in misery mode. Again, I don't know if it's absolutely guaranteed. I'm tempted to search over there, but I also am well aware of what's coming. So I would prefer to get to the farmstead as quickly as I possibly can. We're just going to follow this deer and try not to get eaten on the way to the house. It's not too far. And then we can see if we can find some of the essentials. If we're very lucky, we'll find a lantern and bedroll somewhat quickly, which is what you always kind of hope for on a Loper run.
Jesus, this is cold.
And make no mistake, this is definitely Loper adjacent, but also beyond Loper in a lot of ways. When I run against All Odds series on the channel, not the Season 0 runs I've been doing lately, but typical mainline against All Odds, those are also kind of Loper adjacent with some modifications. Something's worse than Loper, something's easier than Loper. This is pretty much worse than Loper in every respect. Again, so the descriptions and so the advice from the devs has sort of indicated. So not for the faint of heart. And the way I'm going to play this is we're going to run the series until basically I die. If we die quickly, like within, say, 20 episodes, I'll just restart. If we die again, I'll restart again. So I'm not going to let it go for a short period of time. But we won't let it go overly long either, or at least that's not the plan. We can kind of assess after a while. So what else is unique about this mode? Because, believe it or not, there's stuff that is not really... Because there's no real experience with it outside of the context of this mode specifically, it's hard to really grasp some of the descriptions and the bullet points on that screen. Like, what does that stuff mean? There are random afflictions that just get served up to you. I mentioned this earlier. Not only are they random, but they are unique to this mode. So they'll pop up, and all of a sudden, you will have problems. And they are permanent problems. And those problems are difficult. And then after a while, you will have more problems. And so, quite literally, when they added Interloper and said, oh yeah, it's like the world's trying to kill you. Note that word. It's like the world is trying to kill you. Now it actually is. Alright, so we got a wilderness kitchen. Training book there. Nothing else in here. Nothing else here. Temperature is at least decent here in the farmhouse. Salt. I never have enough salt. Note left behind. Sorry, no time to read. Cooking pot. Okay. Fairly common find here in the farmstead, so I'm not going to be too excited about that. Hang on, let me guess. Yeah. Okay. So that's a bug with the launch build. FYI, we don't have 25 gallons of cooking oil. I think some of the metric units... Oh, look, peaches. Some of the metric conversions are borked in the current build. But that will hopefully be resolved soonish. So if you're wondering, you know, what's going on with that, I'm not actually carrying that amount because you'll notice my encumbrance is quite normal. Okay, no lantern, no can opener to speak of. Let's get some water. Yeah, notice the amount of water I just picked up, almost 59 gallons. That's not accurate. But thankfully, it goes down proportionate to the amount of water you're actually drinking, minus the measurement error. So, like, as I drink it, that number will go down precipitously. And it'll be less problematic. I mean, it's not really problematic to begin with, other than the fact that you don't really see an accurate amount. It's honestly less game-breaking than you might think. Because you're always picking things up and putting things down kind of in proportions. Like you want to drop half of your water, a quarter of your water, a third of your water, whatever, you know. And you can still do that even if the numbers are messed up. It doesn't really change the mechanic. Anyway. I imagine these loot tables are looking very familiar to those of you who play Interloper quite regularly. Very, very slim pickings.
This will come in handy.
Sewing kit. Good. Oh. Those are two decent finds right away. Okay. For once I said something out loud and fortunes actually improved. That never happens. I promise by the end of this episode, that will have changed. I promise. This mode does not joke around, and I'm not going to say too much about the afflictions in advance, because I don't want to take away the experience for those of you who haven't had a chance to play it yet, or who just want to experience it with me in real time. So I'm not going to like telegraph all the stuff I know from having tested this in advance. And I don't think I got all of the afflictions during my testing either, so I might genuinely still be surprised by some of the ones that pop up. I think the first one, if I remember correctly, is always the same. That's all I will say. Hey, look, 63 gallons of water. Oh boy. That's a lot. That's a lot. Alright, so far, no lantern. How many matches do I have? None. The game has given me no matches. Okay, so I was playing earlier just to prepare for this series, and either I had starting matches or I picked up matches and didn't realize I picked up matches. Because I'm now sad. I am now sad that I don't have matches. But I shouldn't be surprised. I really, really shouldn't be surprised. Double checking for matches. Take a look outside, then we'll go down to the basement. And then, while the weather's still decent, I might just beeline over to Signal Hill. Because I still have plenty of rest. Yep, let's go downstairs, see what we can find. Alright, nothing in here. Ooh, whetstone. Not bad. That was not there before. I might make a few comments like that because I had a start here
I think I can use
just
this.
earlier today, in fact. Same one I was just talking about. More wool socks. Not the best visibility down here. I wonder if... Nope. No tools. Doesn't appear to be anything hanging out on the workbench. Okay. Some charcoal in the drawer. Not a lot going on at the farmstead. Also, no matches. Check the lockers. Which, it's so dark. I almost forgot they were there. I am surprised there are no matches down here, but at the same time, remember the loot tables have changed. That has been part of the updates over the last year. The wildlife refresh, interestingly enough, unless they surprise us with it. Oh, the bear's over there now. Okay, interesting. The wildlife refresh still has not happened.
Take this cold.
Okay. I'm going to step into the car real quick. Alright, so that bear being between me and the shed presents a slight dilemma. Way up to the old dam seems open again. Better check it out soon. Nice. So there are wolves out in the right clearing and a bear in the left clearing. Love it. Love everything about it. Oh, the bear turned, I think. Or maybe not. Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a very wide berth.
Oh, so
Go around this way. As Jennifer rudely interrupts me. Okay, good. Bear is still moving away from me. It won't be terribly long before the first affliction hits, which is why I am moving as fast as I am. I mean, honestly, you'd be moving this fast regardless, right? To try and find what you need, but I've got an additional fire under me at the moment. Nothing in the backpack. No matches. Okay. Let's go up top. Unfortunately, this building is not as well insulated as the farmhouse, so notice that despite the clothing I picked up earlier, I'm still cold here. And losing... I could... You know, one thing I could have done in the farmhouse is grab some cloth. I can still do this. But I have officially moved on. Nice. Pinnacle Beaches. Alright, so we have some snacks. Don't have any can openers, though. And we will, of course, not be finding any knives. Or hatchets. We'll be making those ourselves. Okay. I am going to try and make it up to Signal Hill. I know that's nuts, but the weather is good. Hypothermia risk isn't that bad. I have lots of stamina at the moment. Notice that I said at the moment. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, because I'm not putting down anything else. Okay, weather's getting worse. This is gonna get bad. I'm tempted to climb that rope, but I don't have the stamina for it. So we're gonna try to get as far up to Signal Hill as we can before we lose visibility. This is gonna suck, though, if this turns into a blizzard. PV gonna PV. Yep, here she comes. Great. Great, love this. Love this. Favorite zone ever. Oh yeah, this is what I needed. Alright. Wrist sprain. Okay, at least we're both wrists sprained. Okay. Just need to make our way up there. Feels like 7 degrees. Yeah, I definitely could have made, with that sewing kit that I found, could have made some cloth covering. But it was worth it to get up to Signal Hill. Given the stuff that I might be able to find up here. Again, main thing would be a lantern, or at the very least a flare, because a flare would get me through a cave. But a bedroll would also be great. Not very likely on Signal Hill, but there's no reason not to hope. Also, there's the chance of extra clothing if I'm lucky. It's probably worth mentioning that this is a rather radical difficulty shift. Not for me as a player, but just relative to the last content that I finished in the Long Dark, which aired an hour before this premiere started. Assuming everything goes according to schedule, that is. It's a pretty radical jump. Alright, there's a flare. Same spot I found one earlier. Let's see how else we might be able to get lucky here. Okay, nothing really here. Nothing in the corner. Alright, there's a replacement fuse. Ooh, nice. A cotton toque. Okay, well that'll help with frostbite risk on the head. Will not help with frostbite risk elsewhere. Alright, lantern fuel, which I'll take. A car battery, which is nice also. Oh, and dog food, which I almost overlooked. Still no matches. Oh wow, sardines, tomato soup, tin of coffee. Replacement fuse. Simple tools. I'll take them, I suppose. Oh, wow. Combat pants. Hello. Yes, please. I did pick up that scarf, so tell you what, let's put the scarf on there. And the toque. Now we're a little bit more protected. Also, I did have a second pair of wool socks. Let's go ahead and change into those. Wasn't a huge difference. But that will help us next time we're outside. Not much, but it will. It won't be nothing. It'll be something. And something is better than nothing. Okay. Yeah, we need to just rest here and regain some condition. Thankfully, I have plenty to eat. Let's go ahead and eat this while it's still decent condition and hopefully not pay the price. All right, good. One of the things that's going to be interesting is that I've been playing for months on a Stalker adjacent difficulty in a playthrough that's been meant to just sort of teach the ropes, not only to me, but to anyone watching who's interested, with regard to the newer content in Tales, specifically the Zone of Contamination, which we just wrapped up. And I am accustomed to being able to eat anything I want. So believe me, I know I'm not playing the same save, but there's a part of me that's like, Hadrian, don't make that mistake, please. Do not be that player. This is the hardest difficulty Hanlon has ever produced. Do not be that player. Okay. Lots of pain just went away from those sprains. Let's drink a little bit more water. We are not encumbered at all. Going to eat those sardines while they are very good condition, because those can pose a threat even at higher condition. And I think what I want to do here, I hate to do it, but I don't have, except for the flare, which I want to save for going through caves. I'm just going to pass time, because like I don't have any light. I just don't. So let's now sleep for 4 hours. Woke up fully rested. Good. Sun is about to come up. And snack on a few more cattails. There are still plenty of cattails to be picked if I stay in the right areas. So where could I travel? Now that I have a flare, I could go to Mystery Lake. I could go to Coastal Highway. I could go to Black Rock. Black Rock, I think, is pushing it a little bit. But of the zones that I have immediate access to from here, there's also, I could go to Timberwolf. That probably wouldn't go well, but I could. But of the zones that I have immediate access to, Black Rock is the only one with a forge. Okay. I passed a little bit more time there than was ideal, but I wanted some daylight. Weather still sounds decent. I don't know why I said that out loud, because the game definitely hears me when I say things like that. Maybe you can relate. Okay, let's go outside. Oh, joy. Fog, you know what? I will take fog. Fog is fine. Because I'm actually just going to go right back across to the farmstead. And then reassess from there. Then I might head to the barn. And then from there, it's a little bit dodgier. It's going to depend on the weather. We are in Pleasant Valley, which means the weather is going to be an atrocity. A literal crime against gamers. We've all just learned to live with it. We've learned to take the abuse of this horrible place. It's not good for us, but we do it anyway. But we're here for each other, and that's what matters. Okay, there is a part of me that's tempted to go down that rope, but... Hello, Ptarmigan. Oh, hold on. That's a little bit too soon, I guess. There we go. Let me not sprain twice again. Yeah, the problem with going straight down that rope is that you might walk right up on a bear. And I could walk right up on a bear still. So be careful with that. Interesting that the sound of the river is so intense here. Like, there's not really a waterfall nearby. I don't know that I've heard that here before. I don't know if that's a change to the sound effects or what, but like that river is frozen. Solid. Oh, I didn't expect this to be here. Okay, that's awkward. Okay, cool. Cool, now I know where I am. I was worried for a second, but this actually is kind of helpful. Now I can run under this, check for cattails, and then kind of hang a left back up towards the farmstead, which is over on my left. Which is why I would be hanging said left. There is possibly a bear over that ridge right now, so I'm going to play it safe. Except for grabbing this cattail. I will grab that cattail. And I will not apologize for it. Fog is clearing. Good from a visibility standpoint, probably not good from a temperature standpoint, but I'm cold anyway. So let's just keep moving. One of the reasons I wanted to come back to the farmhouse is I wanted to make absolutely sure I didn't overlook any matches. But if the weather's decent, I might even be able to make a trip to the plain. It's not exactly an intact plain, but I could make a trip in that direction. Now that would involve backtracking in the direction of the way that I came. That's okay. It's just what sucks about not having matches. Hang on, let me look over here. Oh. That's some accelerant, at least. What sucks about not having matches is I can't, you know, eat any beverages. If I can't light any fires. So it's kind of hard to stay warm by those means. So, with that in mind, I do need to make some hand coverings. Let's make that second pass. Just making absolutely sure. Okay, so we're going to use these curtains. I might need 2 more. Nope, just kidding. Oh, you know what? I'm making head covering. I need to make hand covering. That might actually be better than one of the items that I'm wearing, so I'll still take that. Yeah, it's the hand covering that requires more. All right, well that took up. Oh, and there it is. Ooh. Diminished form. A morbid decay has set in. You have less stamina, and your carrying capacity is reduced. Sensing your vulnerability, wolves are less likely to flee during a struggle. Welcome to misery. So a hardship has arrived. We are not carrying 62 gallons of water. For the record. Okay, so there's a cattail stalk. Okay. Let me quickly check to see what I can do here. Oh yeah, that's definitely better. Matter of fact, hold on. We're going to put that on the outside. And then, yeah, leave that on the inside, I guess. And let's put the hand wraps on. Okay, and now we're a little bit better protected against the elements. We're pretty tired. I do have chips. I have some dog food. So I have the ability to eat. I think I kind of want to just see if I can... The only trouble with going back to the plane is that there's no place to sleep. That's the thing. So if I get stuck out there, I would I pretty much have to force myself into finding matches. I have to just hope. I have to gamble that there will be matches. And that I'll find them at some point. Let me go down to the basement and triple check down there. And then I'm going to go, rather than going to the plain, I think I'm going to go to Thompson's Crossing. That makes the most sense to me. Yeah, we have a flare, but I don't want to use that because that could be my ticket out of here. If I get a second flare, that'd be nice. Okay. I think I have spent enough time looking around here. The weather really is quite nice for Pleasant Valley. It looks like it's about to not be. So let's get moving. A couple different ways I could go to I was about to say the Quonset. We're not at the Quonset yet. That's in Coastal. But there's a couple different ways I could visit the crossing, Thompson's Crossing. I could get on the road and go that direction, or I could go by way of the barn. And I kind of feel like memeing right now, so we're going to go to the barn. Might involve pissing off a wolf. But all I see are deer, which, yeah. 2 stags right in front of me. Doe straight ahead, and another stag in the distance. So the wolves are not terribly close. And in some ways, I like what I'm doing here, because if I'm running these deer ahead of me... Damn, I was trying to move right so I could kind of push him towards the barn.
Sure getting cold.
I'm kind of exercising a bit of control, and of course the wind is blowing in my face. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? Alright, so we have the first affliction. There will be several days, therefore likely several episodes before we see the second one.
Warming up a bit.
But we already have something. You can notice the stamina bar. Look at that. That is not a small amount of stamina lost. Stamina capacity lost, even. Right, so this is where I'm going to have to be careful, because I think the wolves are all on the other side of the barn, but that's still, especially when I can't move forward quickly. Number 1, because I'm out of stamina. Number 2, because the wind is blowing in my face. That's plenty of reason to be careful. And make sure you can see the wolves before you go charging in. But I don't see them... Wait. Wait. Okay, no, that's not a wolf. We're good. I thought I saw something right in front of the barn, but I think it's just a dark plank near the bottom of the barn. Trying to stay alert, okay? Yeah, lots of outbuildings. There's one back there. Likelihood of finding matches in either of those is pretty good. Also, likelihood of finding matches in here is pretty good. So let's see what we can do. And I'm also hopeful that I have enough clothing. Damn it, I don't. Okay, well, I might have enough clothing to get inside the truck and be warm. But as of now, the barn is not insulated enough to keep me cozy. Which sucks. So let's look around for those matches. Right, I see some dog food. That makes it at least worth the visit. That's 500, well, not actually. Oh, hey! Ding, ding, ding. Sorry, backer 3781. We have things to do. Heavy Hammer, Episode 1. Antibiotics. Dead guy. Nothing on them. Useless. Thanks for nothing. Let's check here. Emergency stim. Okay. Alright, so notice that the truck was warm enough, so I can rest in there for a bit. So I have the ability to actually warm up here. It'll take a long time, but I can. But I'm really, really hoping for some matches up here. Hey, okay.
This is so cold.
No flares.
I want to lay down for a bit.
But I have a distress pistol. Decent work gloves. Okay. Candy bar.
I'd eat anything right about now.
Thankfully, you have something to eat. So the fact that we have a heavy hammer gives us a reason. I think I know which of those caves I want to go through now. Let me think. Yeah. I mean, I could either go to Coastal Highway, then go to Desolation Point. See, now that I think about it, that might be the way to go. Because Coastal Highway... But what I was going to say is Mystery Lake, Forlorn Muskeg. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe not. Just, I'm looking everywhere for these damn matches. Okay. Okay. First things first. Ooh, I need to eat that dog food yesterday. Let's see. I'm still going to go to Thompson's Crossing if I can. Because I want to see if I can find whatever this zone might have for me. I also want to go ahead and eat these Pinnacle Beaches. I'm going to lose some of the caloric value, unfortunately. Thank you, Barn. You've been good to me. We appreciate you collectively. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess. There's a lot of emote spam in chat right now. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna get in here, and we're going to rest for... I'm just gonna say 4 hours. And I want to hope that Pleasant Valley doesn't do its thing. 1 day, 6 hours, 2 minutes. Ooh. Hello, Pleasant Valley. Who are you, and what have you done with the real Pleasant Valley? My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Except the opposite of what I just said. Okay, nothing. Thompson's Crossing. Go, 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 go. Great visibility. Doing a quick cattail check here, but I also need to be mindful of wolves. Pretty good chance of more food at Thompson's Crossing. I think I might go for the Desolation Point Forge. Because the likelihood of finding a bedroll, I think, is going to be slightly higher if I allow myself to go through Coastal and then allow myself to go to Desolation Point. Okay. This is nerve-wracking, because this is a very blind slope. It's very steep, and there could be wolves on the other side of it. I'm going to try and veer towards the road. I think that'll reduce the likelihood slightly. And hey, if I can get onto the asphalt, that'll help with movement speed. Okay. I'm actually still going to do that. I'm this close, I might as well.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do.
That's the first time you brought it up this series, Jennifer. I emphasize this series. Wow. I'm having a thought right now, but I don't want to say it out loud. Because bad things will happen if I say it out loud. I'm not actually that superstitious, but the memes are hilarious. Because of just the sheer number of times that, like, you just have that rotten streamer luck. That rotten content creator luck where, don't get me wrong, I mean, it can be really good luck too, but, like, you say something, and then the game's just like, I heard you. Here's your punishment for saying things out loud. And then you just swallow regret. And try to live with yourself. Knowing that you could have had a much easier time if you just kept your mouth shut. But there are things I want to say about just this lovely day that I'm restraining myself from saying. Okay, let's actually step inside here first. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to find at least one box of matches before the end of this episode. Fingers crossed. Not such a nice introduction to Thompson's Crossing. Okay, we got some painkillers at least. That's nice. And we will get some water, which I can't complain about. 59 gallons of it. It's not actually 59 gallons, as we have thoroughly established multiple times in this one episode. I'm fairly certain they're aware of the bug, but again, because of what I was saying earlier, because it's not game breaking, I don't think it's like high priority. I imagine they're still looking for game breaking stuff. It seems like a pretty stable build, all things considered, if I may say so. But it's possible one of the others might have gotten more time with it, and therefore they might be more aware. So definitely check out Zach's channel. Check out Athenon's. Oh no. Okay, so as I was saying before the game crashed, and I had to go back through and make sure that I picked everything up that I picked up before. Hang on, let's load in here and make sure it works. Definitely check out Zach Nafane's channel, check out Athenon's, check out Thomasina's, because I'm sure that we all have our own kind of perspectives to share on the testing process now that we can actually talk about it. And anything, I mean, not that we have necessarily a whole lot to reveal, apart from things that you'll all be able to discover about the game mode on your own now. But just in terms of like initial awareness of like what the mode is like, what we think of it, just what the general experience was. I encourage everyone to, especially if you haven't heard of those creators before, check them out on YouTube and Twitch where applicable, because they're awesome. And I cannot recommend any of the three of them enough. They've all been at this a very long time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Maybe I... Ooh, finally found some matches. There we go. I think if I'm not mistaken, Tommy and I go the farthest back? I think?
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Because I started in 2015. I don't remember when she started, but she's been at this a very long time. Athenon's been at it a long time. Zach is newer, but obviously Zach is Zach. And he's established himself quite nicely. Mainly by just being an awesome human being and doing such an amazing job supporting the community and supporting smaller creators, helping them kind of get on their feet, giving shout-outs, all of that. We know him. We love him. Zach is awesome. Okay. Windbreaker. Thank you. Okay. That is a welcome addition to my gear. Let's get another 52 gallons of water. Okay. It's getting pretty dark. And I still don't have a lantern of any kind, so I want to be mindful of that. Tell you what, let's just step up here. Oof. You know what? You know what? Before I smash open some of these cans and lose whatever calories I'm going to lose from smashing them open, let's go down here and get cattails. Because there will at least be a few cattails. So one thing I'm definitely... I'm... Oh, nice, a pry bar.
If I don't warm up.
Hell yeah. That's not always a quick find. I'll take that. So one thing I'm pretty confident in saying, because I've commented on this a lot in the last year or so, one of the things that's very interesting about Interloper is that as tough as Interloper is, it still uses the standard vegetation availability setting. It does seem like, from my experience, Misery uses the lowest vegetation setting, which is, again, consistent with what the mode is described as, is consistent with what Katie told us. This is more what I'm used to, because against all odds, you know, high difficulty codes all run on low vegetation availability, excuse me. And I get the sense that we're not, I mean, obviously there just aren't a ton of cattails in these thickets, which again is kind of what I expect most of the time. Okay, let's get back into Thompson's and just get some rest. I think this is a pretty good place to call it today.
Feels like night is coming.
Let's see. Yeah, I can sort of step inside for a moment. There are still some buildings that I haven't checked.
I'm starving.
Oof. It got a lot darker a lot faster. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. Okay. Okay. Oh, I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Go, 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 go. Waste of a match. Okay. Let's chat out on cattails. Hurts my soul. I am not as many of you know, I am not as crazy on my match min-maxing as many in our community are. I have some ways that I approach the game mentally and emotionally and with my imagination that, you know, we all approach games in those ways that are different from what, like, the people who really crunch the numbers and play the system to the maximum possible degree are. I'm much more a believer in playing the game rather than playing the system. This difficulty mode is kind of made for the latter type of player that really can, like, crunch the numbers and kind of know what risks to take and when, and just be very, 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 very calculating. That being said, I am going to be very judicious with my matches because I have to be. It is going to force that on me. Now I'm going to drink some water just to keep Jennifer from complaining as I wrap up the episode here. But we are going to stop this one here as I stand in the dark and take a look at my diminished form. We honestly have pretty good starting gear, all considered. We have like a good amount of food. I don't have anything to open these cans with, unfortunately, but there's a chance I might find something before I leave. There are some clothing items that I'm lugging around that I can probably drop, so I'll need to take a look at that because, unfortunately, until I get well fed, which I should in the next little while, I'll definitely have it by the end of the next episode, unless something goes wrong, my carrying capacity is reduced. Well fed puts your carrying capacity back up to 66 at the current sort of status with this, but whatever the next particular misery is, whatever the next affliction is completely random. So it might be one that I've seen before, it might be one that I haven't, but it's gonna be some episodes, I think, before that one hits. And in the meantime, I'm gonna try to make my way towards Coastal Highway and explore there while also making my way towards Desolation Point and the forge that's there, because I have a heavy hammer. Holy crap, how'd that happen? That's enough for one episode of Misery. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are going to be coming out every day at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time, which is our standard long dark time on the channel. And comments are always welcome, so let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time.